of the 1933 inside that part of the workshop. Also, just beyond Kevin here was Steve McQueen. He came to the garage and bought a Formula 2 car. On that photograph on the wall there is Steve McQueen picking the car up with his Land Rover. Was it Discovery? Defender.
Well, probably Series 1.
Series 1. And he went on to do the film Bullet when he was over here. He also stayed in John Cooper's house, which then John Cooper bought a house just across the road in Kingsdown Road. Unfortunately not there anymore. And Michael Cooper was turfed out of his bedroom for Steve McQueen to stay in. So there's been a lot of famous people walk through these doors here. And then we come to this part of the workshop, which the employees, obviously, in those days couldn't have motor cars, so they used to park all their cycles all the way along this road, this piece of wall here, back in the sort of 40s, 50s. So we come back to this room here, and since I last come up in October, I was going to tell you about the mezzanine floor, which is above here. But obviously I don't have to tell you because it's now come back. It wasn't there in October. Have you got the picture there?
Which one do you want?
Before that, little one.
Little one?
At the back it might be.
Oh, there it is. Stuck.
No, is that not?
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, so this one here is obviously with all the cars being built within this part of the workshop. In this part of the workshop we had the mezzanine floor, and the guys in the workshop used to get very, very cold during the winter. Now, they weren't very happy, and so they said to Charles Cooper. Charles Cooper was a very mean man, very mean. He didn't want to spend any money at all, and they said, Charles, we are so cold in this workshop. Please, can you put some heating? And he picked up a paraffin heater and he stuck it right there, bang in the middle where you guys are standing there now. And he said, if you want central heating, you've got it, and then walked off. A little bit later, obviously, he did put a central heating pipe up through the top here, but he didn't really like doing that. So, a little while afterwards, we had Sir Jack Brabham. He started Cooper's, and he came and he was involved with the rear engine vehicle. Now this was changing Formula 1 completely. Didn't start winning straight away, but obviously went on to win. But when Sir Jack came over from Australia, he had nowhere to live. Now, because he didn't have anywhere to live, he decided in the car park of the pub just along the road here, where Coopers used to keep all their transporters as well, trailers, he would put his caravan there. So he didn't have very far to come, because if you look at the back of the workshop, he used to come in through the back and across the bridge and into the workshop. So that was his way into work. And on that bridge there's a little stream, and Charles Cooper used to go out and feed the ducks. But it must have been on mouldy bread, because he wouldn't have paid for new bread. So, not that long afterwards, we had another special guy that joined the Cooper Car Company. His name was Bruce McLaren. Now, when he came to Cooper's, he walked into this workshop here, and he said, where's my car then? And Charles and John said, well, your car's over there. But he said, what do you mean? He said, well, if you want to race for us, you build your own car. There's the chassis, there's the engine, there's the gearbox. and that's the body. So you put it together, and that's how Bruce started in this workshop. And obviously he was a great engineer as well. So, no, that's the other, sorry.
Can't keep up.
You can't keep up with me, sorry.
Which one are you? What number are you on?
Right, so this sort of completes this part of the tour, but as we look at the back of the car, the workshop here, we have also Charles Ivy, Elvro and Daniel. They race still in the Porsche Club, and so a lot of racing still goes on within this premises. These cars are built, how often? You're doing it all the time, aren't you? So we still have race cars being built on these premises. And Daniel's doing quite well. This is Elvro's son. Right, so we'll do the next part of the tour.